And Congress is now considering what kind of award, honor they should give him. I wonder if he's offered a presidential Medal of Freedom, would he accept it? Now, I mention this, gentlemen, because on today, Martin Luther King's birthday, I decided to reread the letter he wrote when he was in jail in Birmingham in April of 1963. I was 11 years old, and I remember my parents discussing this. It's a letter he wrote to fellow clergymen. Now, he's in jail, and apparently a lot of the members of the clergy in Birmingham didn't want him to come, not because they were racist, but because they thought he was going too fast, pushing too fast, agitating too much. And plus, we got this. We don't want any outsiders coming in. And so most of the letter had to do with challenging them on their principles, on their morals. If not now, when? And isn't injustice anywhere a concern for people everywhere? How dare you call me an outsider, he said. And he lectured them, politely but firmly. And talked about, when you tell us to wait, you have no idea what it feels like to be black in America, in the Jim Crow South, and to be told by people on your side to wait, he says. Quote, "We have waited for more than 340 years for our constitutional and God-given rights," he wrote. "The nations of Asia and South and Africa are moving with jet-light speed towards gaining political independence, but we still creep at horse and buggy pace toward gaining a cup of coffee at a lunch counter. Perhaps it is easy for those who have never felt the stinging darts of segregation to say wait. But when you have seen vicious mobs lynch your mothers and fathers at will and drown your sisters and brothers at whim, when you see hate-filled policemen curse, kick, and even kill your black brothers and sisters, when you see the vast majority of your 20 million Negro brothers smoldering in an airtight cage of poverty in the midst of an affluent society, when you suddenly find your tongue twisted and your speech stammering as you seek to explain to your 6-year-old daughter why she can't go to the public amusement park that has just been advertised on television, and you see tears welling up in her eyes when she is told that Funtown is closed to colored children, and see ominous clouds of inferiority beginning to form in her little mental sky, and see her beginning to distort her personality by developing an unconscious bitterness towards white people, when you have to concoct an answer for a 5-year-old son who's asking, "Daddy, why do white people treat colored people so mean?" When you take a cross-country drive and find it necessary to sleep night after night in the uncomfortable corners of your automobile because no motel will accept you. When you are humiliated day in and day out by nagging signs reading white and colored. When your first name becomes nigger, your middle name becomes boy, however old you are, and your last name becomes John, and your wife and mother are never given the respected title Mrs. When you are harried by day and haunted by night by the fact that you are a Negro, living constantly in tiptoe stance, never knowing quite what to expect, and are plagued with inner fears and outer resentment, when you are forever fighting a degenerating sense of nobodiness, then you will understand why we find it difficult to wait. End of quote. When I come back, we're going to talk about the conditions today versus those in April of 1963. I am Larry Elder.